Welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes, part 2 of the reunion.
Season 15 reunion.
Yes, we're wrapping up rapidly.
Yeah, we sure are.
I thought it was a good episode. I think they've really been building. Like, I think 1 was really good and 2 was great. And so I have high expectations for 3.
I have high expectations for 3 just because that's where all the drama is going to be. This one, I think, was a little light on the drama. I think the first episode was, I think, much better because it didn't seem as planned, whereas this was definitely package for Amanda, package for Sutton, patent for Kyle, you know.
It's my package.
Yes. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was an all right episode, I think. I have difficulty, it's just the cats fighting elsewhere in the studio.
In the studio.
I have difficulty, I think, with the Kyle side of this episode. As much as I love Kyle, like I want what she was talking about during the season, not at the reunion. Like I feel there's a lot that gets should be answerable for, and you should be able to talk about at the reunion. But I feel like all this stuff is what I would have been happier to hear throughout the season. But I think so much of the season was focused on Kyle versus Dorit.
Yeah, it's funny because even in the events of the Amanda package, it gets, waylaid by Kyle and Dorit.
Yeah.
But it's Amanda's package. Let's talk about Amanda.
Amanda was first.
Yes. Just picking up again with the Boz thing, which people had opinions on our Boz. People love to have opinions on the internet and tell you you're wrong.
Especially on Facebook.
They really do. And I'm here to tell you, we heard you, but I still don't think I'm wrong. So I'm sorry.
Well, the thing is that we were I don't know what people's opinions about that whole Boz thing necessarily were, because we were basically saying that Boz said that, but we understand why she wouldn't remember.
Exactly. If you listen to the entire clip, but no, it's like you just, anyways, whatever.
People hear what they want to hear.
They hear what they want to hear. We're not shitting on Boz. We're not shitting on Amanda. It's just things were said. It wasn't a legit receipt that was brought up and shown. So,
and I think even when we return on this reunion episode and we pick up with that, I don't think it's still made clear, and Boz still won't admit she said it.
Well, and also too, it's like, again, they only want to hear what they want to hear. So they would not see eye to eye. They wouldn't admit anything. Boz is just so put out, and just trying to differentiate, how they are. Which, yes, they're two totally different people, two different courses, and objections.
Objectives.
Objections. I object to this whole thing.
They have two totally different objections.
Yeah, there's a lot of objections. So, but yeah, no one is necessarily wrong, but it just really felt like Boz wanted to prove her wrong, and Amanda's like, throughout the entire thing, Amanda just stood and, no, this is what happened and this is what I believe. And she wasn't getting flustered, even at skipping to the end when Annie's like, what did you learn? She's like, this isn't scary, and I like having that attitude, because so many newbies come in just cowering over oh my God, that's so-and-so, oh my God, that's so-and-so, and I can't say anything. And Amanda's even if she did put her foot in her mouth many a time, at least she came in with a clear opinion and a clear point of view, and she wouldn't back down.
Yeah.
But she would admit that she was wrong. She apologized to Dorit, even though she didn't get a damn apology back. I am still stuck on the Zion thing of Dorit not apologizing at the reunion. Maybe it was cut out, whatever. But not saying, I'm sorry that I kept pursuing this whole petty little bullshit I had with you after you said to me, I'm holding on by a thread. It should have just ended there, So whatever, they didn't want to go there, but I felt that was an apology. But yeah, it was great that Amanda said, I'm sorry that, for speaking that opinion. I didn't know you that well at the time. And I feel like she's really genuine.
Yeah,
about
no,
that.
I think very much so as well. I think when she was saying, I was worried that maybe I did say something that I just don't remember having said, but watching it back, I don't feel like anything I said was that really out of line or that, bad. I'm sorry that it hurt you, that sort of thing. That
wasn't her aim to hurt her. She wasn't coming. No one is coming for you, Dorit.
And that's exactly what Sutton was going with Dorit as well, is I wasn't coming for you, but the first thing you want to do is just assume that we're out to get you.
You got those eyes, and those are just Sutton's eyes. Yeah. I don't think she is giving you the evil eye or Sutton like Strack eyes versus Sutton Brown's eyes. You're just pulling shit out of your ass at that point.
She just wants to be...
She wants a problem where there isn't a problem.
Right.
So talk about trying to save your job.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
That's much later.
But
I do think, though, Amanda, what I did like about Amanda is saying that she's not afraid, I like that she said when she's gotten to know the ladies, she likes who they are. It's just like when she's had the opportunity, which I don't feel like... Some people, I think, might view that as a slam or a slight, but I don't think that's how she meant it. And I think that she genuinely did mean that, like, when they've shown me who they are and they're not coming at me, I think they're pretty cool people. Like, I like to get to know them better. But, like, when they make it their life's goal or, like, their goal of the week to start just bagging on me for what reason?
For everything. It's like what her business is, who she is, how she talks to her husband. Nothing that she could have done was good enough for them.
Right.
And it's like her or don't like her as a viewer, it's really annoying to like have no one try to find common ground with her except Sutton when she finally did, and then Kyle.
Right.
So and Erika to a certain extent, they had a good conversation, about the cult.
No, I agree.
I guess they'll get into the cult in the next episode.
I think they will.
But yeah, in terms of the Boz thing, I just we see in the preview they get more into their issues as well, which I'm like, must we drag this out more?
I'd like to get. I think they drag it out more because I think that if they're both coming back next season, if they come to a good resolution now, they might actually have a chance next season to like be friendly.
But I feel like Boz is never gonna admit to. That's anything.
And that was my problem with last week, is that Boz just isn't leaving any room for the possibility that she might have misread the situation.
Any nuance.
Exactly. So she's just saying that like Amanda's a scammer, like something's just not right there. And that's fine. Like, I guess, if she would just say that, like, I don't know what it is, but something about the way you carry yourself just doesn't sit right with me.
Sometimes you just gotta have to say something, even if it's harsh, to get past it, because then it's out there and then you can discuss it. But if you're just holding back and being passive aggressive, or in some cases gaslighting, then it's just, you're not going to get anywhere.
Right.
So I don't know. My thing is when I liked how Andy was like, wait, what? About the CFO thing?
Well, that was awesome that Amanda first off was saying that like ChatGPT scrapes, Reddit for sure.
The worst of the worst.
And gets, picks up the worst of the worst comments and stuff. And so, when Boz says, well, when you did the search, yours came up with a very different one than mine did. And Amanda's like...
Well, she's also like criticizing Amanda's tone. And it's like, what was your tone?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say tone, but that was the subtext of like...
Exactly.
Amanda was like saying it in a kind of mean-spirited, kind of catty way, or disparaging Boz's everything.
Accomplishments.
But Boz wasn't.
Right.
Well, especially reading shit about somebody on the internet is like, I don't care if it just sounds like you're talking shit.
Especially the context in which it was brought back to Amanda was they were talking crap about you, and she was like, oh, well, let's see what it says when I do her.
Yeah.
So of course there's going to be a sarcastic or some sort of tone to it, because it's saying like, oh, I'll show you, but I don't think
she was provoked.
Yeah, and I do like that Boz did answer of sorts, or tried to answer for why her tenures have been short, and I don't doubt it for a minute that a lot of people get blamed for poor performance when they're in these flashy positions. But I mean, I like that Andy at least questioned, well, as a C-suite member, aren't you supposed to be there for the long haul? Like, isn't that the intention? Like, you don't get into the C-suite at Netflix in hopes that it only lasts a year and a half. Like, your goal is to stay, right?
It's not a temp job.
So, I mean, I know it's difficult for her to get into the nuance of that all, because I'm sure there's plenty.
Right.
But I like that she at least gave it a go, that like, that's a very high profile job that will get the blame when something doesn't go the way it's supposed to go, especially when, you are in marketing and you do something that maybe swings for the fences. You spend so much money on a marketing campaign, they're going to be like, well, that didn't work, and you just spent $2 million, so out you go.
Right. It's like you're just, when you have a bad season of a show, they get rid of the writer. Like in soaps all the time.
Oh, yeah.
If they had a bad year on All My Children, they get rid of whoever was writing it, because they're like, well, we need to like start over and like a fresh perspective.
Yeah, right.
But regardless, I think that Boz is probably, I would say probably, I'm sure she's had more wins than she's had losses.
Right.
And so even if she has moved around, the fact that she is thought of to go on to the next place, you don't go from like Netflix to whatever, I can't remember the other things.
Pepsi for a little bit.
Pepsi, yeah. Very high profile jobs without having a
good reputation.
A good reputation, sure. Exactly.
Could you imagine if Housewives just every bad season just fired the producer that season, moved on to a different producer?
I think people would want that.
I think people demand it all the time.
They've been calling for Alex Baskin to be fired.
That was the one thing I listened to the PK interview. He said came out of. It's the one thing I do remember. I tried listening to the whole thing. I know I told you this, but for the listeners, I tried listening. I thought I'd just put on the PK interview in the background and just kind of absorb it. And he was talking in circles. It was just a lot of word salad and garbage, and I just wanted him to make a point, and he just wouldn't.
Yeah.
But one of the things I took away is that he was very, very thankful for the show, and that he did come away with it with some good friends. And he does consider Alex Baskin to be one of his good friends that he met through the show.
That's interesting.
Yeah, which I thought interesting as well. And I don't know if he means that mainly for networking or if he's actually a good friend. But
well, they're all at the same table, according to Teddy. It was Alex and Teddy and PK and Mauricio. So,
well, then maybe then.
Yeah.
So, but no, it made me wonder when he said that like, if he's getting a better edit because he's friends with Alex Baskin.
I don't think so. I think maybe, and also they're probably better friends now that he's not on the show.
Probably.
And trying to manipulate the show and saying like, okay, baby, now you got this. Now you're going to do wedding dresses.
Right.
Now I'm going to get, what was it? It was Take My Breath Away? No. When you did the whole like Pretty Woman.
Oh, God. Don't remind me of that. No.
Was it Berlin?
It was Roxette.
Was it Roxette in person?
Well, Roxette was the one from the Pretty Woman.
I remember it wasn't the song for Pretty Woman. It was,
then it might have been Berlin.
I think it was Berlin.
I forgot that.
It was because everyone's like, "It's Take My Breath Away," but that's not Pretty Woman.
Yeah, that's not a
Roxette. Is Pretty Woman. Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Was so cringy.
So cringe.
So unbelievably cringy.
Here's a borrowed dress and a borrowed necklace.
At the Beverly Hilton.
To help her move past her PTSD
from the break-in.
Yes.
Oh, so towards the end of Amanda's package, which I did like,
derailed into
the Kyle Dorit show.
Yeah.
And that's the thing again that Dorit wants to keep everything focused on the most recent 2 years, as though everything before it doesn't equal or amount to anything.
And it's so funny that she was almost high-fiving Kyle. Thank God you opened the door so I can talk about how you didn't support me in my endeavor, Kyle.
Yeah. And then I saw that's the sort of thing where my
first business in 2 years, Kyle.
Well, she's saying her first business in 5 years.
Oh.
Which is true. It probably is her first.
She changed it to at one point, too.
Yeah. But at the same time, if you were my friend who was always in a band or going to improv and I went to all these shows and I didn't go to one, and that's the one you freaked out about, oh, now I'm a magician and I didn't go to your magic show, I'd be like, it's totally fair for me to say I've been to all your bands, I've been to all your improv, I did your stand-up comedy, I did this, I did that. That amounts for something. So for Dorit to just sit there and say, no, I mean recently, it's okay. So
forget Buca de Beppo, forget Lucy Apple Juicy, forget the burglary, forget all the times Kyle supported you.
And stood up for you.
It comes down to she's been a shit friend, in your opinion, in the last 2 years and didn't come to your book cover party.
Right.
Okay, Dorit.
I mean, yeah. I just think in general, if someone's supporting you for so many years, that does count for something. Just because they just disappeared recently shouldn't
not
be the end of it.
It's the same thing as you haven't. It's the same thing as Boz has supported me more than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
The person I've known for 2 years. So everything when you were crying on our shoulders after the burglary, when we went to the Buca de Beppo, when we went to the fashion show, just so many things of that doesn't matter because I'm pissed at you and I only care about 2023 to 2026.
I think for me it comes down, and I'm going to throw around some therapy speak that I'm not qualified, but it just seemed very narcissistic that it's all about me right now and how you can be there for me. And the minute you don't show interest in who I am, then you're useless to me. Like, you're not here throwing yourself at my feet, seeing what you can do to make me feel better, how my life is in shambles. Like, because you're not there trying to do that for me, then you don't amount to anything. And that's what it reads to me,
it does, because the person who she heard, it was, I can't remember which episode it was, when Bo said, what do you, it was at the dinner in Italy, what do you need from us, Dorit, to blah, 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 blah. Like,
and I get it. It feels good to know that people are there to take care of you. That's obviously, what a lot of people in this world want, is to be taken care of and to know that they if they're worried, they don't have to worry. It does feel good, but you can't just shit all over the people that have been there for you before because they're not showing up for you the way that you want them to right now.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you don't need to, suck their dicks, so to speak, and be there and be like, kiss their ass, which you named metaphor, and just be like, oh, well, in the past year, she has every right to be upset, or me, wish that they were supporting her differently, but to sit there and write them off, I think that's just where my problem ends.
Yeah, when Kathy said, does it really, you have a lot of friends, Dorit, did it really matter that Sutton wasn't there? She didn't answer the question. She just went to, I supported Sutton when I went to her fashion show.
Oh, and then she opened the door.
And Sutton's like, well, and then Missy, you shit on it.
Yeah.
So would you rather, I think it'd be better if I didn't go and didn't distract from your book cover.
And that's when Andy even doubled down
with his
analogy.
That was a good analogy.
It was a great analogy.
You can't use analogies in Housewives, apparently.
It was very telling this entire episode who Andy was like aiming for. Like,
I think it was just frustrating having her yell in his ear
probably
for like the last how many hours.
Probably.
But it was a good analogy. It made total sense. No. She just wasn't hearing it.
No, she wouldn't.
I don't know.
I don't want to crap all over Dorit.
No. There's no
not
need
what this
to.
episode's truly about.
No.
But no, I just think that, again, it's, your 7 years shouldn't just be erased because the last 2 or 3 have been not what you wanted,
Someone commented on the video from 3 weeks ago.
Our video?
Yeah.
By the way, please like and subscribe at all social media.
Yes, all the
Husband's
things.
Watching on TikTok. Husband's Watching Housewives everywhere else.
They said Kyle and... Or you get my water?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that's your water. Sorry. They said...
You're not the boss of water,
They said Kyle and Erika stabbed Dorit in the heart, and she has every right to say what she said.
What? How? Yeah.
Ma'am. Okay.
I can't wait for next week when Dorit accuses Erika of coming after her because Kyle told her to. I just can't.
Just want, Erika's head's going to explode.
They were already, Kyle and Erika and even Sutton were just looking at each other like, what the hell
is this happening? Are we in the Twilight Zone?
It's so weird.
So Twilight.
But we should move on of the Dorit of it all.
So I actually, and of course it makes sense why I would. I enjoyed the Kyle package. It basically went through the stages of the Mo of it all, which again, really seeing that play back again and them going to the house and having all of her emotions, like her just like putting it all out there, like, how did we get here? How did I let it get here? And just we were so happy in this house. Then what happened? That's some really interesting self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
And, people just don't appreciate it, but I do. And I like that she goes there and has the emotions and they're very real. I don't know, can't remember how long they've been separated, but It's still, he means a lot to her. And it was really telling how she said, one of the reasons she doesn't want to do the divorce is that it wouldn't be the same. And it's already been a big change, not having him as her husband, but not having him as her buddy separation partner,
right?
Would be also a horrible change for her. So,
yeah, I enjoyed. I don't enjoy. It's not the right word, but I appreciate seeing her go through that at the reunion. I just, again, wish that there had been more space for her to do more of that during the season. And yeah, I don't know how you really illustrate that during the season without it becoming tiresome or, okay, we get it, Kyle, that sort of thing.
Well, the whole thing of the house, though.
Yeah, that was obviously good. But like if every episode after that was her still being like, whoa, Mo.
Well, no, but I'm saying like her thing of the house, I think when she went over to his house, I think there's a lot of reflection about how did we get here and why are we not together still? And it still hurts.
I think she explained it the best, though, here was that, like, we always had talk about going, moving to Aspen and doing all these things, but then we stayed in LA and, like, that's where she kind of, and I like that she put her finger on it for the audience, at least, and for the cameras to say that, like, that's where she thinks things kind of went wrong.
They got too big.
Right.
It became about the show. It became about the agency. And they weren't, I think, my speculation, like they weren't nurturing the marriage, the relationship. Just my speculation. So I don't know. So but just to like point that out and just to wonder like what if, and if I hadn't done the show, what would happen if we had gone to Aspen and just
just lived a quieter life. So one where we weren't like, oh, we could make millions and millions of dollars by doing X, Y, and Z, selling real estate.
Which she's now, I didn't know it makes sense they didn't have a prenup because they didn't have anything.
Right.
The fact that she straight up like, no, the agency is half mine. This is California.
Yeah.
So.
And just straight up like, I'm sure even if it came down to it, she could prove where the money came from.
Yeah, it's a very matter of, I love Amanda said, and he launched it on your show. Yeah. So. Yeah, a lot of this she did,
and the publicity came from her and her feud with his feud with Kathy's husband, and
like that distress it caused when he left Rick's agency and started his own, and she supported him through all that. She should certainly get half. I think that's also why Mauricio was like, let's be separated. We're good with that.
Yeah, probably.
But that was interesting hearing her talk about. I could picture it in my mind too when she's talking about being in that room with him as he's casing the room to see what hot chick he's gonna bang or try to even approach, and she's sitting right there like, whoa, you're doing your bachelor dude thing, and I'm just like, you don't even realize I'm here. He is very disconnected. He is very living his life that he didn't get a chance to live the first time around in his 20s and 30s because he had a bunch of kids and a wife. And it's just, but to do that in front of the person who you used to love or you love, different ways.
Person you built a life with.
Yes.
So
that would be rough.
Oh, absolutely. 100% rough on that. I think I enjoyed, it made sense to me when she said that, like, neither of them really found someone to be with. And she thinks that, like, once that happens, that will probably necessitate filing for divorce. Because the person that they're with will be like, hey, you should, I want to be married to you, so you need to get divorced. That sort of
thing. Right. It's like, it's weird that you're still married and like, how can we move forward if you're still attached legally and emotionally to somebody else?
Right.
Which then opens the door to her other ex.
Well, before that, though, I did like that Boz was the one who said, well, did you think that maybe, was it Boz and
it was
Rachel?
Boz, yeah.
Saying like, Rachel. Now when you're, actually friends and things are going well, like you could do it and then you wouldn't be blaming someone else for what finally happened.
That's a good point too, yeah.
I thought that was really well thought of and a good, I think also a good sign that, Boz isn't just anti-Kyle.
No, I don't think she is. I don't really think she is. I think she's very much, Team Dorit, but I don't think she hates Kyle.
Right.
And I don't know why Teddy thinks she does. Because I don't think I think they just haven't really clicked as well, certainly.
They haven't had a chance to click, I don't think.
Yeah.
So
I feel like, if Dorit was on the show, they probably would click better.
I think they would click much, much better. So. But no, I thought that was interesting because I hadn't even thought about it. And I don't even think that Kyle necessarily had either. Like, oh, yeah, you're right.
What's better?
Yeah. I would, but I thought it was just funny. I do want to blame someone.
Yes.
Even Boz was like, well, yeah, me too.
It's easier. Yeah.
It would be.
And just feel like,
Then, but, also I think for the finances and stuff, like doing it when you're not contentious, when things are kind of just chill, that would definitely make splitting things up a lot easier.
Exactly. Then when you have hurt feelings, then it's like, no, I want 60% of the agency.
Yeah, and that's when you're just like, no, that house is mine, you motherfucker.
Yes.
It starts turning into War of the Roses, you know.
Right.
So
I owed Aspen. You cannot step foot in Aspen.
right. And La Quinta either. It's mine.
Yes.
I'm not staying at Elizabeth Hasselbeck's ever again. No, that was on Orange County, wasn't it?
That was Orange County.
Yeah, sorry.
It was Elizabeth
Not
Vargas.
Vargas, not
Yeah.
Hasselbeck?
No, it was the other, like, you think it's Elizabeth Vargas, the reporter, Good Morning America,
Mhm.
but it's actually the former Orange County housewife.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
Anywho,
But that does bring us to them
Kyle's
talking about
ex.
Kyle's unnamed ex.
so here's the thing. As a big Kyle fan, I have to say, I am like, yes, Kyle shared so much. Like, she doesn't need to share every little detail. As she said to BravoCon, do you need to have a camera in my toilet? No, man, we do not need that. But I think it's interesting that Andy, he didn't have to name the person, but he could say, really go into more so of the Brad and Angelina comment. Were you being funny, or do you seriously mean that? You know, was this relationship with a woman? We don't need to name the person, but it was really, really pussyfooting around it in a way that was just, it was a huge elephant in the room that they wouldn't talk about the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least, like, what did you love about them? Like, are you surprised you fell in love? It was just dancing around it. It makes it more obvious that it's a thing. I always say, when you make something into a thing, it becomes a bigger thing, as opposed to just being like casual about it. Like, so was it a woman? You know, were you surprised that this could have happened? You know, are you still heartbroken? He did ask that. Are you still heartbroken?
Right.
But I just needed more details just to be balanced.
You just wanted some messier Andy about the situation.
Not messier, but like balanced, because he would have gone there with anybody else. And you can't play favorites. You can't. That leads to the people thinking Kyle runs the show, that she's a producer, and that she, you know, can dictate like what gets said.
Right.
So yes, this person didn't sign up for it. That for sure. They do not need to have their name brought up. They do not need to be on, you know, I won't say delisted. On the Daily Mail tomorrow, Kyle talks about her lesbian lover.
Doesn't need to
so
be
and so. It doesn't need to be a headline. But I think the fans are asking for more.
They'd still find a way, though.
Yeah.
They'd still find a way to get it tied back to her if they really want to make that headline that way. I agree. The only thing I can think of, especially me as devil's advocate, is that it must have been in her contract for this season that they cannot, under any circumstances, like, name her or really even go to there. Like, she'll do anything else but that. And I think also there is a little bit of sensitivity when it comes to, like, if Kyle's not really talking about it, is it really for Andy to out her more about it, or to, you know, shame isn't the right word, but
not shame, but it was obviously a substantial relationship.
Right.
You fell in love. It wasn't just we dated for a couple months, you fell in love.
Right.
And it's no longer there, and probably again, interesting, another relationship that's being affected by the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mauricio and this other person.
I think also, if I had to guess, Kyle and Andy have probably talked about it at length off camera.
I'm sure Kyle's talked about everyone about it.
Right. And I think that he feels like he has all the answers, so he doesn't necessarily need to.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You have to, like, the viewers doesn't have all the answers. And I understand, like, you know, you feel she's coming to this late in life, and it's her sexuality, and there's layers to it. And again, I don't need all the details, but when you keep saying person, it's just so, again, the elephant gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it becomes the headline without you making it be the headline.
Right.
You know, because then people just speculate and spiral instead of really just being able to say, like, it was this, loved her so much, or her, him, them, and, you know, we're long together and it sucks. Interesting when Dorit said the thing about, like, oh, I feel like I've heard that they break up when Kyle starts filming again, and you can tell Kyle just was like, watch your step. She was looking at her like, oh, she better not.
Right. I thought it was interesting that Dorit even owned up to it when she said, when Andy asked her, like, is that what you meant when you said you've known
protected her?
You protected her.
That's really interesting. Yeah. I didn't think about that at all. I thought it was just some other
I had a feeling it was, and that's what she was getting at. But and especially the way that even last season when Dorit was, driving around and trying to press Kyle on it, and like you can tell she was trying to get Kyle to say something on camera that Kyle was just very clearly not.
That really helped to probably. I
wonder also if that's kind of something that pisses Dorit off, that like Dorit has to like
lay bare.
Yes. Well, Kyle's been able to.
I'm sure she does
keep this kind of under wraps.
I'm sure it does. If Dorit would start dating somebody in the off season, and I'm sure they would want her to talk about it when cameras start rolling again.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think that, and Kyle probably gets to stick it to Dorit a little bit, and that like, well, you're going through a divorce. I'm going through a divorce. I'm talking about the divorce. I'm talking about everything that you're talking about.
But Dorit could say, I'm not dating anybody.
I can't help you there. Sorry.
That's a you problem.
You could be dating someone if you were less of a... So...
But yeah, just to wrap it up, I think, I wanted a little bit more. I think the viewers wanted a bit more. I'm not saying we necessarily deserve... I don't know if I said deserve earlier, but if I did, we don't deserve, but it just feels the balance of everybody being on the show and talking about their lives. Interesting how Kyle too was very quick to say, well, other people have had relationships and they haven't talked about it. And Erika was like, yes.
I think she was talking about many people beyond just Kyle or just Erika.
But I think when Dorit said, what do you mean? Who's sitting here are you talking about? Because that's just Erika. Surely Sutton, aside from stripping her security guard or her driver, I don't think she's having secret.
Well, and that's the thing is that, like, if Kyle's whole point is other people were dating people and weren't talking about it, I'm sure it could go back to, Brandy. It could go back to, however far back.
Uh-huh.
But of course, Dorit doesn't care unless it's this year or last year.
Dorit is very present tense.
Yes, very much so. But yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I think that you're right. Kyle, it would have been nicer to hear more about that. I think that maybe my hope is that if Kyle continues on the show, which I think she will, that in a couple years, this will be such a, why was I worried about it?
Yeah.
That she'll be talking about these things more freely and openly, especially as she meets more people that maybe she's interested in romantically, and especially as Mauricio tends to move on himself.
That's true. Like if she did meet another person and, they were willing not just to be filmed, but to be open and like be public at least, and didn't care about paparazzi or whatever, she might say, yeah, I'm in my Angelina era and here we are.
Oh, she needs to meet the gray braided diva from Rhode Island.
The gray braided diva. Speaking of Angelina, slight segue. Did you see the picture that Giselle posted? She was at an AKA event, because her daughter.
I was going to ask for a minute. Are we talking about Giselle Bryant?
Sorry.
I'm
sorry.
Giselle Bryant. Okay.
We're in Housewives land. I only mean one Giselle.
Yes.
Giselle Bryant from Real Housewives of Potomac was at an event for AKA. It was a mother-daughter event because her daughter, Angel, or Dor, very cute.
Aww.
Cat in a box.
Two box cats.
They never were before.
That's cute.
So it was an AK event for mother-daughter thing, and so there's a picture of her and another mother-daughter, and the one right next to them, Angelina and her daughter.
Really?
Angelina Jolie's daughter is in AKA, so she is sorority sisters with Giselle's daughter, and also sorority sisters with Giselle.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had not seen that.
It's just so crazy to be like,
you are my husband. You're supposed to send me these things.
I meant to bring it up. Well, here we are. I waited to the show to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. We're on camera. But yeah, it's just so weird to see like Giselle, boom, 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 Angelina Jolie, Oscar winner. Like it's just.
We're gonna hear about this next season.
Oh, for sure. For sure. They're filming right now.
Oh,
for sure. Yeah. For sure they are.
I'm sure Reasonably Shady's talking about it too.
Oh my God. Robin's like, damn it. Why was I AKA? I could have been there too.
Excuse me.
Well, she's not any daughters though. So
true.
Yeah.
So that brings us on Beverly Hills. They move past Kyle.
Yes.
Are you okay? Drink water.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just couldn't believe that Giselle and Angelina
are like 1 degree of separation away, or two. Yeah. 1 or 2. It
was like when our friend told us their kid went to school with Ellen Pompeo's kid.
They're like, what? Grey's Anatomy?
Tell us more.
And you buried the lead?
Oh, and also with what's her face, Beyonce.
Yes.
Yeah.
The lead was so buried.
So buried.
So
Anyway,
buried. They don't even go to school, the same school anymore.
No,
but
could have.
Sorry to talk about it, person, our friend.
Oh no, we're not. It's fine.
Yes. Then we get to the Sutton package.
Yes.
The Sutton.
So we're gonna let it's kind of a downhill from here because the Sutton thing wasn't all that.
No, but I think Sutton really staying focused and not getting riled up and not fainting or almost passing out.
Forgot about that. Didn't get rushed off to the hospital.
Right. I liked that. Basically, because it talked about the whole like annulment thing and Brown versus Strack and whatever, but it really like Andy like couldn't wait to get to that. So Dorit, you and Sutton. So I liked that Sutton was very much, I was exhausted with you, and I wasn't coming for you. I was just like, I was over it by then, by the time we had that thing at Rachel's birthday party. And, you're just like spinning and presupposing, and it's not that horrible, Dorit. And yeah.
I really did like that. I thought presuppose was a really good choice of words.
Yeah.
I thought that was perfect in that. I
Wrapping
thought cats in our, how we're homosexuals? We have a wrapping paper closet. That's how you know. That's how we confirm it. And right now the cat is in there and is scratching.
He likes to hear noise.
Yeah.
Like he's an ASMR cat.
We should get him a plastic bag.
Yeah.
Wait, that sounds like...
No, my God.
You know what I mean? Just something that makes...
No, we should not give him a plastic bag. We should get him... He has so many toys that make noise.
Let's get that baby a plastic bag while we're at it. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, I did not mean to say that. That's not what I meant. Anyway, I thought what Sutton said presuppose was good because, again, it's just Dorit assuming that, like, Sutton was coming at her with the worst of intention,
yes,
trying to come in there to tell Dorit what she should be doing, when all she was doing was saying, like, basically, if it was me, that's what I would be doing. But because the minute, like, anything comes up about what Dorit should or should not be doing, it becomes, public enemy number one. I'm going to sneeze.
Bless you.
So on video, I'll be doing this repeatedly. But yeah, I just think that the minute...
Bless it.
Thank you. The minute that Dorit hears someone telling her what to do, she just... blinders go on, her earmuffs just won't hear anything else.
Also just say, you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop with Sutton. You really weren't giving her, that much leeway. And the minute she did something that like slightly ticked you off, oh, here's Strack again. Mm-hmm. Here's Strack. Strack is back.
Right.
By Sutton Brown.
Well, she was also trying to make good on her last season. Like, oh, there she is. Sort of
here she comes.
At the reunion.
Here she comes.
Oh, God.
She is so acty and so stagey. She's like a stunt queen.
Yeah.
Sometimes, just like she's like, and I gave her the benefit of the doubt, and there you can, and there she goes, and like fooled me, like just so practiced.
It's
like she.
One thing we forgot about was the apologies between Tilly and Sutton,
yes,
for the blow up, of previous. I thought that was interesting, but again, I saw some clips of this before watching tonight. I think where Andy was asked Sutton the question, like, said viewers weren't very happy with the way you treated Tilly.
She's like, no, they weren't,
and no, they weren't, and like almost immediately Sutton got almost too apologetic, and while she was starting, Tilly cut in and was like, no, it was all my fault, and all I wanted Sutton to be was like, it wasn't your fault. Like, you really legitimately had, those were your feelings, and I was being too much by shushing you. And I don't think that really happened. I don't think it
happened necessarily. I think it was more so Tilly talking, and then Sutton gave her like a very kind of quick apology. I felt that Tilly's was more heartfelt. And she really was like genuine. Sutton's been there for me in so many stages of my life, and I know I should have said that to Kyle. It's like, but Tilly, you're venting. You felt hurt in that moment, and she did allude to it a bit, like saying like I had a terrible childhood, and basically that kind of triggered me. Someone snapping at me like that, and she didn't do anything wrong by venting to Kyle. People might differ, beg to differ.
For those of you who've been with us a couple weeks, our cat just sat on the cord again and pulled out the mic as we were talking, but he's got a really good knack for it.
It just derails everything.
Just knows exactly which cord to sit on and exactly when to do it.
Yeah, but it's like I have the mic very particular, obviously, and I'm like exactly where I want it, and like I'm sitting exactly where I want to, but like the cord is like swinging down, and so you just it's in the way, but not really in his way.
He's just a little bit of an oafy cat sometimes.
Yeah,
but regardless, no, I just don't feel like Jennifer needed to be apologizing as much as she did.
She really fell on the sword in that balmain dress,
and I really wanted Sutton to be like, "Thank you for the apology, but really, I was being a little too much."
Exactly. She didn't need to go above and beyond, and she was very genuine, and I felt like Sutton's was very like, and that's that. Like she literally said,
yeah,
and that's that.
Yeah.
Moving on. Like basically, next question, Andy.
Yeah.
You know,
it makes me wonder, especially the way she, even during the season, Tilly was just so quick to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like,
yes.
Like, what does Sutton do when she's like truly pissed off? Like, or what does Sutton have on Tilly? That's what I am kind of curious.
I think I think she just knows that she can push Tilly in a way that anybody else would be like Erika, don't talk to me like that.
Yeah.
You know, and Tilly's not going to say that. You know, she's going to be like, my feelings were hurt, but basically like, no, I'm not going to say that. But, you know, it's just too much falling on the sword.
Yeah.
And you have your feelings, and your feelings are valid, and she should have snapped at you. And I wanted a better apology from Sutton.
I agree. That's, yeah.
Now, Kathy.
What did Kathy?
Someone take her phone away, take all of her bags, bag lady of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, getting out of that damn SUV.
Here's my pillow. Here's my this.
Yeah.
How's my hair, Kyle? So I look like a country western singer. No, I'm being Sutton, so.
It's all right.
But the one thing I did like when she asked Dorit that question about, like, does it really matter who came to her book? So,
yeah.
But, and when she said, does Mauricio know that? So she did, like, throw in some good moments. But when she answered the damn phone.
I mean, I think at this point they're just. A producer probably called her, knowing that the phone was on. Like, oh, but that served no purpose. They didn't need to include it in there. I don't think it was cute. I think that, again, I've always been kind of irritated at the doddering Kathy Hilton routine.
Shtick, yeah.
So, but yeah,
it was just
tiresome for sure.
The Jello diet, the AI Jello diet that she got duped with.
Okay, I mean that was. I like how Andy, he's like, wait a minute. So you did it because you thought Oprah was doing it? Oh, and then like, Dr. Oz was doing it too. It was like, oh, honey.
He's like one of the great minds.
Yeah. Well, tell us you're conservative without telling us you're conservative.
I mean, well, Kathy is straight up on Facebook all the time, for sure. Being duped by AI Oprah.
I mean, it definitely seems like the number one demographic for that. So
yes.
How many Nigerian princes has she helped out?
Oh my God,
Very
so
curious.
many Nigerian princes. So many.
So many.
So
other than the Sutton thing, I mean,
they basically went back and forth, and with Dorit not hearing anything, and then it like Erika got brought into it, and again, Dorit's not hearing anybody. Of Erika saying, that pissed me off when you were saying basically, I was coming at you, I bared my soul to you and was telling you how I really felt and having an honest conversation with you, and you were just equating it to me wanting to keep my job, and that was the only reason I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really shitty, you know. Just didn't care at all that.
It just makes me wonder right now if Dorit has just doubled down so many times on so many bad ideas that she's just like, yep, this is where I'm going.
But there's always room for course correction and to admit that you're wrong. She has not admitted that she is wrong or apologized for anything in this damn reunion.
I think, though, if you think this was all filmed back in March of this year.
March 13th, to be exact.
Yeah, sorry, I paused it because I wanted to see what was on TV behind Kathy Hilton.
Her birthday.
On her birthday. I wonder what the fans were saying, and because it was probably around the time that she left them in Italy in the bus or whatever. I'm wondering how much support she had from fans at that time, where maybe the message she was receiving from the ether was just go
get them.
Keep going.
But that's what it's always going to be, because there are always going to be people who hate Erika, who hate Kyle, and want someone to stand up to them, even if she's freaking wrong. it's just, you shouldn't get your bullet points from the internet. Is this how you feel, really? Okay.
And see, that's the thing, is like, people always talk about, oh, well, it makes great TV. It makes great TV. I don't know that this is necessarily making great TV. It's definitely giving a protagonist and an antagonist, depending on whose side you're on. But again, I just don't think that, like, doing it for the sake of doing it it's a short-term solution. I don't think it's going to last in the long term, because next Dorit for the next 5 years just can't be continuing to
exactly
not hearing, because even the last half of the season was edited in such a way that was very much, look how ridiculous Dorit has been, in giving Kyle and Erika more screen time and saying, we're just trying to get through to you and you're not willing to listen.
Dorit basically is almost saying, you should be thankful that I'm here, that I'm giving you a storyline.
Yeah.
That's what she's like, 10 seconds away from saying.
Right. And I think she will say it next week.
Yes, and then we'll get into the whole, like, Kyle can determine who stays and who goes. I don't know.
We were talking about, the cat did it again, damn it.
Yeah, we were talking about, like, hearing from the fans about, like, what you should be doing.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it's like, that's never a good idea.
Never.
And yeah, it's just, I like that Erika was just saying, no, this is how I really feel. This is how I felt. Like, you hurt me, when you said those things in Italy, and I drew the line. I didn't come to your stupid book cover party, and I was hurt. And Dorit's just not hearing it, and that's when Andy said, "Do you want to apologize?" And
for what?
For what, Andy? And it's like, and that's was a cliffhanger.
I was almost waiting for when Dorit said, like, oh, it upset me to see you over at Sutton's house instead of at my party. Like, I was kind of expecting Erika to be like, good. That was the intent.
I wanted to get your attention, Dorit.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hear that next week. But
yeah.
I
don't think when we come back next week, she's going to give an apology.
No.
Because she just...
Or if she does, Dorit's going to
be half-assed.
It's going to be a really half-assed one.
Well, you know what it is? Spoiler alert. Well, not really, because it was in the trailer. When Dorit does give an apology and Erika's like, do you really mean it? And she's like, no, Erika, I'm a cold-hearted.
Oh, right.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
So again, it's not going to mean anything. She doesn't care about her friends. As much as people were saying, like, no one cares about is giving Dorit any grace and she's going through a hard time. Dorit doesn't give a crap about these women. She has thrown them out with the bathwater, and she has her 2 new best friends, Boz and Rachel, and screw anything that Erika and Kyle have done for her, and that's bullshit. It's one thing to, like, disregard Sutton, or like
I mean, we all do it. It's all the cool,
because she was never your friend like that. Mm-hmm. But to just completely just ignore any space that Erika and Kyle held in your life and what they did for holding you down all these years doesn't matter, because you're so angry and that just disappears from your head, is utter crap. And she's, I mean, whatever.
Yeah. No, you're.
How do you expect any grace when you won't get any in return?
Right. Or again, just like Boz won't leave space for there to be the fact that maybe she said these things, Dorit's not leaving any space for the fact that, like, maybe there's another point of view here.
That couch is very hard-headed. And Rachel, speak the fuck up. Okay, if you're going to be on the show, I don't need you muttering, I see Mauricio, and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't need these asides to Kathy. Speak up. And when she did speak up, it was just like, whatever, like semantics with Amanda.
Yeah.
Again, just like, that's not what I mean by speaking up. I mean, like, having a viewpoint, saying your viewpoint, even if it's like, Kyle, I think you were wrong. I am siding with Dorit because, like, I think you're being a shitty friend. Like, just having, like, a valid opinion.
And for her to say, what's a package?
Oh my God.
You've been on reality.
You've been on a reality show. I know they didn't do reunions on the Rachel Zoe show, but TV.
Yeah. I mean, come on. What's a package? Get out of here.
Irritated me.
She didn't really do much this episode, though. I did like that she at least stood up, confirmed that watching Mauricio flirt with other women was, like, absolutely awful to witness.
Right. No, what she did say is, like, I didn't like when well, she went back and forth. She's like, when you were basically boasting that you wrote your book, but I know you didn't mean it that way, or something like that. She was like, within the same sentence.
Basically saying, like,
she flip-flopped within the same sentence.
Yeah. Like, you got to be careful because it makes, because people don't like it when it makes it look like you're bragging. And it wasn't bragging. Oh, and I know you weren't. That's why I mentioned it.
Then why did you bring it up?
Yeah, exactly.
Because, people are going to hear the first thing and not the second thing.
Yeah.
You know, like this whole, like, I don't know what I'm doing. You know exactly what you're doing because we saw the Rachel Snow project and you were a dick to your assistants. So this whole, like, I'm just into fashion and I'm a girly girl and da-da-da-da-da. And Dorit, you're so gorgeous and Roger's so bad. Like, please, there's more to you than that. And you need to bring it if you're going to come back next season.
I think she'll be back next season because it's probably...
I am not saying, but I'm saying if she's coming back, you need to bring it.
Yeah, I
because I don't need sparkly caftan on the end of the couch. Sparkly caftan does nothing for me. Okay? No.
No, you are correct. You are right with that. Sparkly caftan. That's the other part of the title.
Yeah.
So we'll figure it all out.
Yeah.
I think I'm getting a little tired. And I think we've talked about this pretty well.
Yeah. Looking forward to next week's episode and wrapping up the
exciting
season.
Conclusion.
Yes. Oh, it's going to get exciting.
It's going to be good for sure. Oh, that's the only other thing I was going to say, and I really think is the case. I think Dorit is probably latching on to the show as hard as she can, and I don't blame her for it. She's doing whatever she can to make sure that she will continue to get a paycheck because that is probably the only source of income that she can imagine having right now. So what?
That was way harsh, Ty.
Well, I mean, what else is she really
It's
doing?
true.
No.
It's true. It's very true. But like you said, in a very nice, concise manner of this is her
primary stream of income, if we're going to quote Amanda.
Well, when you're spending, I want a stream of income for her.
Yes.
When you want to spend your advance money on a Kelly bag, then yes, you should. Yeah. Keep all your ducats from your Beverly Hills paycheck.
Yes.
And yeah.
No, so I mean, I don't fault her, especially like this mentality of what happened 10 years ago doesn't matter, because for me, I'm fighting tooth and nail right now to keep right now. You know, and that's what's important to me as Dorit right now is that this keeps happening. So I'm going to do and say whatever I got to, and I'm not going to go ahead and calm the rhetoric down because you were there for me 5 years ago, because I need you to be there for me right now. Because so unless you're going to give me some of Mauricio's money from the agency, I don't want to hear it. You know, so I can see that argument being made, but at the same time, under the basis that we're all friends and this is about conflict and resolution, you gotta be open to resolution. And right now you're not, and that could equally backfire where we're in a situation where people don't want to film with you, and you know,
because you're really tough to film with. Also,
if you truly believe Kyle had that power, you would not be on the show.
Exactly. You would want to stay on her good side. But also, this made me think of another thing. Her whole thing about how Kyle was seething with jealousy because Dorit was friends with Rachel and Boz.
That's a stretch.
And as Kyle said, you're projecting.
Yeah.
I think you're jealous of Kyle because you think that she can like move all these pieces around on the show, that she doesn't really truly need the show, and she has more money than she knows what to do with. Yeah. And you don't. You need the show.
True.
So now I'm being way harsh, but we're right. She does need the show. And I'm not knocking that.
No, I don't blame that at all. Like, I mean, I think
she's got 2 kids to care for.
It's a smart business move, and you know, if PK doesn't have money that she's going to get through any.
The house has been foreclosed on. She needs to have security for her and her children.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking it. We're just calling a thing a thing.
Yeah. No, and it would otherwise, in any other circumstance with many other people, I think it might be admirable to be this focused on keeping your job and keeping the show profitable for you. Mm-hmm. But I just think that,
like, if you're the CFO of Netflix,
exactly, I think then that might be useful. But yeah, I feel like she's, on one hand, if that's what she's doing, it feels like she's starting to drown and she's just grasping at anything that people throw at her. Because like that whole idea about her being Kyle's jealous of her friendship, it's like, okay, what depths of the subreddit did you read that?
Exactly. So, jealous of what?
Yeah.
What is Kyle jealous of? She doesn't want to be, she likes Boz, but she doesn't need to be best friends with Boz, nor Rachel, nor be in Dorit's position.
Right.
It's not a good position to be in.
That was Sutton's opportunity to bring it all full circle.
Oh my gosh.
What is Kyle jealous of? Your ugly leather pant? Or
just like, jealous of what? Dorit?
Oh, it would have been so good.
It would have been so good.
Yes. I'm glad we got back on track with
Yes, we did. Yes. Yeah.
All right. That being said, I think we should go about our business and do other things and talk about it next time.
Until next time.